Hey, welcome to DC in your house.
In your house.
Do you
We're
like?
back.
You know what's amazing? Like Reagan branded that phrase.
He did. It's still hard for me to say though. I don't remember to say it.
Yeah, he's collecting royalties now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you're using it in the chat right now, he's getting money for that.
That's true. Yeah.
So you could spam it right now and start racking up some pennies for him.
Well, yeah, rack up pennies for him.
Yeah.
Not for you, but every time it gets said, he makes money.
He does. Yeah. We found it out this week. He's very good at that.
Yeah.
Marketing.
He's an influencer.
Yeah. He is.
He is. Imagine that.
Pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive. Hey, welcome again to DC. Last week we were live. We were live, and we're gonna go live again tonight in the 290s.
Yeah.
Reagan's not here because he's out, buying lunch because of all the royalties.
Yeah.
And so, but you might see him.
Yeah, because he's gonna be speaking tonight.
He's gonna be speaking tonight.
When we go live, you'll see Reagan on stage giving the message. So we're excited.
So Reagan will probably say, like, from on stage, like, "Hey, welcome DC in your house."
Yeah, his tagline.
And then he'll make money again by saying it. So, well, hey, students, we're going to be live tonight. So after our opening here, we're going to take you right live into the room in the 290s. Mm-hmm. Reagan's going to be our speaker tonight, and then you'll go into Zoom small groups, and so it's going to be a great time. So,
but first, we have a game for them, right?
Yeah, well, we're just trying to get them to start thinking again. You know what's interesting is now that you get towards the end of summer, your brain shuts off.
Yes, because it's not summer yet.
It's not summer.
So we're not at the end of summer?
Yeah, at the end of summer,
we're
but
at the end of spring?
You're really excited for summer, and so your brain just stops working.
I can see clearly.
My brain stopped working.
So we need to kickstart that.
We need to kickstart your brain. So
and you came up with something. Hopefully your brain was working when you came up with it.
It kickstarted my brain.
Okay, good. Yeah. So it'll work for the students too.
I hope it does.
So if you're feeling tired right now, tell us in the chat if you're exhausted, because right now this is going to give you a boost.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. It's just a simple would you rather.
Okay.
So I'll read it, and then you just type in the chat which one you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we look at the first one. Would you rather, Michelle, would you rather have a strict bedtime of 8 p.m.
Ooh, that's early.
every day for the rest of your life?
Long time.
Or be forced to stay awake and not sleep on the weekends for the rest of your life?
Like the whole time? Does Friday count? So are we talking like 72 hours or 48 hours straight?
Oh, that's a good question. Like beginning Friday when you wake up.
Okay.
Like, so when you wake up on Friday.
So like Monday morning, or do I get to go to bed Sunday night?
You get to go to bed Sunday at midnight.
Okay, so it might be the midnight.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough Monday.
Yeah. So for the rest of your life, you have to stay awake on the weekends. Or 8 p.m.
8 p.m. You can't.
8 p.m.
Cuts off a lot of your life.
Every day.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be sleep deprived on the weekends.
Yeah.
Fall asleep in class, but 8 p.m., that's a lot.
Yeah.
What would you choose?
Well, I would probably choose not to play this game because, we want you to type in the answer in the chat,
true.
But it's a paragraph long.
Yeah.
So
maybe more sleep, less sleep. That's what you could say.
That's what you can say. But the whole point is for them to type the whole thing out because that's what's going to kickstart their brain.
Oh, so word for word.
Word for word.
Type in the chat what your answer is.
Yeah. So word for word, either have a straight bed. I can't go that long. So yeah. Anyway, should we just go to the second one?
Go to the second.
So would you rather, Michelle, cross the street without looking?
Sounds dangerous.
Or never be allowed for the rest of your life to pull anything out of the oven? Which one did you want to do?
I thought there was more.
I read it wrong. Sorry, I read it wrong. So, but anyway, yeah.
Right.
So, which one do you want to do?
I mean, why the rest of my life? This is a long time.
Yeah, it really is.
So crossing the street
without looking, which, I mean,
or I can't use my oven. Or I can put something in my oven, I just can't take it out?
Yeah, yeah. And so...
Okay, I'm going to go with the oven. That sounds like I just will use the stovetop.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You should probably gone with the first.
To just like
You should have.
Frogger style, just run across.
Michelle,
looking?
have you ever looked at your phone while walking?
Yes.
Then I'm going to say you crossed the street before.
Yeah. I use
Then,
crosswalks though. Like I'm very, very.
But you don't
cautious
use
of
crosswalks because you're looking at your phone. I guarantee you've crossed more streets in your life without looking than you realize. Here's what's interesting. Can the students guess what the theme is behind this Would You Rather?
it. Okay, hopefully you're not going to ask me at the end because I don't think I'll find it.
I hope so. See, that's what's going to help your brain again.
Oh, okay. So
there's a
start
theme.
Thinking there's a connection.
There's
to
a
these.
connection in all of these.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the third one.
All right, 3.
All right, here we go. Would you rather be stuck in detention during lunch for talking in class,
Okay.
or
Likely.
write "I'm sorry" 100 times for being caught cheating on a test?
Just anywhere writing it? Does it have to be public?
That doesn't say.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm sorry 100 times.
You can say you're sorry 100
Yeah.
times versus being stuck in detention.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So you're starting to get a pattern here, right? We have like bedtime.
Okay.
We have like crossing the street,
Or
taking
ovens?
things, ovens, and you have like detention and
Getting in trouble.
getting in trouble.
Okay.
Alrighty.
We'll see a theme.
There's
but
no theme.
Maybe if you do, students.
There's a theme, students.
Okay.
So
All right.
let's take a look at another one. Okay, would you rather burp the word hello to your friend every time you saw him or her for the rest of your life? Or offer water bottles to random strangers who are out jogging in your neighborhood for the rest of your life?
So every time I saw someone running, I had to have a water bottle ready.
Yeah, it's going to cost you. It's
And
going
is
to be
it
very
every
expensive.
friend? Can I stop being friends with that one person that I have to burp their name to? Does it change?
You know, I don't know. So, have you ever attempted? No, don't answer that question. So that's pretty gross.
I'm gonna go.
You
I'm
only
gonna
give
go with the
water to
bottle.
strangers?
Yeah, I think I'm
Okay,
gonna
water
start carrying
bottles.
cases of water.
Yeah, you only
around.
need a case of water. Are there a lot of people jogging in your neighborhood?
No.
No?
So I'm okay.
So maybe you won't need any
Yeah.
water bottles.
True.
All right.
How about you? Would you do that? Do you have a?
You know, I'm just a creator of the
Okay.
game. Yeah.
No.
Not an influencer, a creator.
Got it.
There's a difference.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, students, water, burp. So there you go.
You can write that in the chat.
Yeah.
Summarize the two.
Summarize. Okay, no, are you getting a sense of the theme?
Things. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
have-
Would you rather show patience on a school project
Okay.
to a classmate who is not doing their part, or show kindness to a sibling who's throwing a major tantrum on your birthday because it's not their favorite cake flavor?
Oh, both of those are really hard.
Those are really long.
Really hard.
Those are really long too.
Yeah, they're long but also hard.
Do you
I'm
need
gonna,
a summary of what they were?
Sure, I would
Yeah.
love the summary.
Patience, school project, slacker, sibling, tantrum, cake. That's the
would-
summary.
I would much rather go with the school project.
Alrighty, school project.
Patience for my peer.
Yeah. Alrighty. So no theme yet? No theme
I
yet.
hope the students are getting a theme. I think that I have faith in
Alrighty.
you guys. You can do this.
Would you rather go to Disneyland? I didn't say that right.
Close enough.
Disneyland? Yeah. Would you rather go to Disneyland with your friends and have to follow a ton of rules for safety,
Okay.
or go to Magic Mountain with no rules and run wild with no friends?
Both of those are likely. And I've done both. So
You've gone to Magic Mountain
Yeah,
with no friends and
yes.
ran around wild.
yeah, I've
By yourself?
siblings.
Okay.
They're not really friends.
They were your friends.
No.
They were human
Technically-
beings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm by myself, literally at Magic
Yeah.
Mountain?
Yeah, by yourself.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I have to operate the ride and then run and jump on?
That's the wild part.
Okay.
That's why it's not safe. Because you're not strapped in.
Yeah, I'm not
Once the
doing
ride
Magic
starts,
Mountain.
everything's already done.
I heard
so.
X2, there's EMTs waiting at the end of the line.
Wow.
That's happening right
There
now.
you go.
So I'm going
Alrighty.
to Disneyland.
Go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And because you want to follow rules.
I do want to follow rules in this because rules actually
Ru-
help right now.
Wait, are you starting to sense a theme?
So does it all have to deal with rules?
Maybe, huh? Like, if you want to cross the street, what are you supposed to do?
Look both ways.
Look both ways, right? Michelle, would you rather, this is our last one,
okay.
Already? Would you rather have one rule to never break, or 1,000 rules that you can blame that there's so many rules and that's why you do break them?
Oh, I would do the one rule.
Okay.
It feels so much simpler.
Okay. Adam and Eve had one rule.
I know, and they still messed it up.
They messed it up, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I would follow the rules. I would try.
Oh, there
the
you go.
Rule.
You'd try to follow the rule.
Yeah.
Well, students, that's where we're going in tonight's message. Yeah. We're in this brand new series, Free ? And how do we live out this Christian life? But Michelle, before Reagan comes up to speak more on that, get some announcements.
Yes, I have a lot. So if you're in confirmation, tomorrow night, join me on Zoom. We'll talk about all of your credits. Check your email for that information. And if you are in 8th grade, you have an opportunity to be baptized on May 12th. So send us an email if that's something that you're interested in. We'd love to process that with you more. You'll have an interview with Lloyd. There's calendars that are out. And then the big thing is summer camp. We are going to do a summer retreat in June. So if you're in 8th grade, you're going to go with high school. But if you are in 6th and 7th grade, you will join us because everybody moves up a grade on June 1st. So make sure that you check out the calendar. We're almost half full for junior high, so you really do want to sign up and save your spot. So $180, that's it. It's really cheap. So with that, check out us going live.
Your group, there are spots right here in the front. DC Online, welcome! Okay, students in the room, why don't we give them a round of applause or make any sound you want to make on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah! Oh yeah!
I don't know how to do
How to get you?
I have like snaps
So it's
and a
just
clap.
clicking that and on and off.
The second one?
Yeah, that second
my
one.
sounds that I got.
Yeah,
So
not the first one,
we
it's the
have
video
a
again.
wheel back this week because we're gonna have some fun with this. Again, we're gonna have you guys participate, coming up on stage with us to spin the wheel because there will be different kind of challenges that we have for you.
Whoa,
so
great.
You'll see in a moment on the screen what I have going on here. Let's see. Maybe second. Who would like to play this game? Okay, so I have some right here. Okay, look at in a second when you see the slide. Let's see if you put your hand down. This is maybe it's coming on. Online students can see the slide, which is great. Are we there yet? Nope. Okay. This is great. I'm gonna just tell you announcements while that's coming on. You can put your hands down. Don't worry. I'm gonna take a few students. So if you're in confirmation tonight, back in here, we have a 20-minute meeting. 8th graders are going to meet with you individually to help catch you up. 6th and 7th graders, you're going to hang out with Reagan, and he's going to talk about service opportunities to kind of help you understand what's going on. And then we'll, of course, do our tracking. You can give us your credits. If you're in 8th grade and want to be baptized, come talk to me or come talk to Lloyd. We'd love to get the process going for you. That's on May 12th, which means that all of you can go to that baptism. So 8th graders are the ones participating, the ones that are getting baptized, but we want all of you to come witness that service. It's really enjoyable. So make sure you all grab a calendar. Leaders, I put calendars in your folders for your group. And last thing before we jump back to that is summer campus. That is not on campus. We are going to Alpine for summer camp.
Yeah.
And it is $180. There are scholarships. And we are over a third full right now. So if you are in 8th grade, you have some more spots because high school is only like a fifth full. But if you're in 6th and 7th grade, you're going to get your spot taken. So make sure you save a spot. rhcc.events. All right, Luca, do you see the screens now?
Yeah.
Okay, are we still committed to coming up here? Okay,
Yeah.
come on up.
All right, here comes our first contestant. Alrighty, come on the other side of the wheel there, and the other side of the wheel, and turn and face, and wave at all the online students. Very nice, very nice. They waved at you. By the way.
So
Yeah.
there's cameras.
Yeah. They told
Or
me
they're
that.
waving in the chat.
They're waving in the chat. That's true. Alrighty. Which one of these, like if you spin the wheel and it stops, which one do you want it to stop at? You want it to stop at blue. Which one do you not want it to stop at? Yellow.
Yeah.
Students, let's cheer for yellow, yeah? Alrighty.
And last
So-
week everybody said it was rigged. So let's see if this
It's
week
not
it's rigged.
rigged. It's not rigged. Okay, look. I'll just do a little test right here, right? Okay, see?
Oh!
Stop at yellow. Wow.
Crazy.
Now I wasn't spinning it. Okay,
Yeah,
since
you
you're not
get to
spinning
spin it. You're okay.
The wheel is really tight. What happened to it? It got like really stiff or something.
Oh,
like that.
I don't know.
You have to
Maybe
really.
it is rigged.
If you don't want it to stop at yellow, man, I would like spin it, and you can spin it again, like when it's spinning, if you want to. Alrighty. All right, here we go. Spin it.
Yellow.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yellow.
All right.
Yellow. Yellow.
Oh!
Oh!
Whoa! Wow, that's pretty amazing.
All right,
Alrighty.
here is a mic for you. Well, I mean, just go ahead and start, and then we'll tell you the
Yeah,
parameters.
but
let's
there
go.
is a time, and we'll just see if you get it done in time. Alrighty?
Oh, I don't know.
That's my mic is on.
It's just very. You gotta be loud.
You gotta be loud. Okay, you can pull out your mouse. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Z Y X W V Q E S R Q
10 seconds left.
P O N M L K J I H G F.
And
In time.
Oh, you're so close!
Oh,
You're so close! I thought he would do it.
Wow, so close.
That was crazy close.
Guys,
That's
give her a round of
crazy.
applause. Give her a round of applause.
Crazy. You can stay up here on stage. You can stay up here on stage. That way you can cheer the next person on. Alrighty?
Okay. So we need
alrighty.
another student.
We need another student. We need another student. So let's get a female.
Yeah, Benson!
Alrighty?
Yeah!
We only have one person.
We have one.
Jenna,
Alright.
come on up.
Alright, come on up. Very, very nice.
Okay.
Alrighty. Jenna, which color are you hoping for? You're hoping for blue.
Not yellow? Come
Which
on.
color are you not hoping for?
Green.
Yellow.
Green's pretty embarrassing.
Alrighty.
Pause for a second.
Okay. We're gonna go for yellow. Alrighty, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yellow. Yellow. Oh!
That's crazy.
But
That's
you
how they
have
do
to
it.
tell us the name. You have to. I know you don't have a.
Well, not
crush on
even
anybody,
Jesus?
But
Jesus was the correct answer.
Okay, you have a crush on Jesus. Okay.
Kinda.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus is a stud. Jesus. It's my friend,
Alrighty.
Jesus.
Is there like another name that comes to mind? You can say a random name, sure. What's that?
Like Bob the
Bob.
Builder.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Bob the Tomato.
Is there a Bob,
Bob.
or a Robert in the room?
Oh, you mean like Bob online?
Okay.
He's on the online
That's
kid.
good.
Wow.
I'm very
Wow.
impressed for being so brave. That one intimidated me.
That's
So-
very intimidating. That is very intimidating.
Done?
Alrighty, you can stand over by Michelle as well. And
I
so
think they want to sit down. They're starting to feel
they're starting.
it's really
Okay,
crowded for them.
too crowded for
Okay.
them. Alrighty,
Close for comfort.
another person.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Who wants to come spin the wheel?
Benson.
In the back there.
Wait, I mean, do you want to, which one? Over here has been
You pick.
okay. I don't know. There's so many people over there.
Like James.
I'm going with James.
Oh,
Come on up,
snap.
James.
It's crazy.
All right. You ready? Which one do you want?
Yellow. Yeah, James.
You want
Oh,
yellow?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one do you not want?
Green. Kind of
Okay, you don't want
embarrassing.
green. You don't want to do a Fortnite dance. Alrighty. And is he spinning? Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna spin the wheel.
I guess you're gonna spin the wheel.
You gonna spin the wheel? Alrighty.
Yellow. Yellow. Oh.
Oh, it's like a somersault there, but it's
All
really
right.
kind of painful to do a somersault. So, and but But
All right,
anyway.
you ready to do somersault? Okay.
Wait. I mean, somersault. If you were doing it right here, you're gonna fall right off the stage.
Yeah.
Right? I want to
Stage
be clear
dive.
that it's safety first, right?
Yeah,
Michelle?
that's true. Safety, but I don't know.
Stage
What's
dive.
happening?
should just-
I don't know what's happening.
You should just do the somersault, and that's good. Ready? Safety, but be gentle. Don't hurt yourself. But also make it epic.
Stage
Ready, go.
dive. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do one more student,
Okay.
and that'll be it for
Okay.
our last one.
dive.
There's some people back here. Okay, come on up, Ivan.
Whoa.
Okay,
Alright.
Ivan, what do you want? What color? You want blue. Everybody wants blue. It seems
Come on,
hard.
yellow.
Okay. Which one?
And what color do you not want? Yellow.
Also yellow.
Everybody
Okay.
wants blue. Nobody wants yellow.
That's colorist. Come on.
Alrighty, and spin. That was a really good spin.
Whoa.
And
Hey,
Oh,
it's
he gets blue.
actually it's green.
Yeah.
Green.
Green.
But here's the problem, Ivan, is that it landed on blue, but blue has already been played. So we have to go to a color that we haven't had. We had yellow, which means we have to. I know. So now we have.
green.
Yeah.
We have green.
Ivan's great at these.
2018 when Fortnite
Woo!
dances were
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah. Do you know a Fortnite
You
dance?
can do slow motion.
Yeah, do
You
that
can
one.
only do
that.
the default dance.
That's more than I can do.
Do the one.
So,
Okay.
alright, ready? Okay, cheer
Everyone,
them
do
on.
the music. Dun, 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 dun,
Okay.
It
dun,
doesn't
dun,
have to be
dun,
correct.
dun, dun.
Just
Do
do
the
your
thing.
very best.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go for Ivan. Wait, do you want some candy? Do you want some candy? You can come
Right
grab
back
some
up.
candy.
Let's go.
That's awesome. That's really
Go to grab
good.
some candy.
Whoa.
Alrighty. You worked really hard. You tried really hard. You played the game exactly how we asked you to play it. And as a result, you win. And
Yeah.
you get a prize.
Yeah.
James, you completed your task as well. We gave you the task. You completed it to perfection. Come on up here. And that was really awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, James. You completed it to perfection. And man, it was just really impressive.
Yeah,
And you
it's
know
good.
what? Jared Morey, come on up and have a piece of candy.
Whoa. It's crazy.
Just because.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because.
Just because.
Crazy, that's what we do.
And there you go.
Give it
So
for Jared.
yeah, give it up for Jared.
Yeah.
Just because.
Just
There
because.
just walks up there.
Hey, last week we started this new series. We said this idea of like, what is this Christian life about? How do we grow as a Christian? Is it about rules? No, it's not about rules. Does it mean there's no rules? No, that's crazy too. So what does it mean to grow? How do we actually follow what God is trying to do in our hearts? And like the candy here, like, oh, did you complete it exactly perfectly? You win. You know, we can think that's what Christianity is about, but it's not. And so we're going to continue our series of being free. What does it mean to be free to grow in our Christian faith? And tonight we have a special treat. Reagan. Reagan's going to come up
Reagan.
and share with us.
Oh, epic catch. I should get some candy for that. I will. Nailed it.
Give us some, please.
Nope. Dude, you didn't nail the catch like I did.
I think you're
Awesome. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Okay? Not okay? Tired? I don't know. Cool. Okay, what's up? Yeah, so my name's Reagan. Welcome to see. Welcome online, guys. Awesome that you guys are here. That's really cool. Okay, so I guess before we start, I'm going to pray and just get us ready for tonight. Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for this time. Thank you for all the fun we were having. I just pray that tonight you really use me to preach your word. Pray that everyone get something out of it and can really just grow closer to you, and also in their small groups, have a great time. In Jesus' name, amen. Awesome. Okay, so first I'm going to start when I was younger. Has this ever happened to you? When I was younger, I used to kind of maybe get in arguments with my parents, and it'd end with okay, well, Reagan, I'd be like, oh, I don't like these rules. I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like any of this. I don't like all these things I have to do or all your rules. And then my mom would be like, well, Reagan, when you're an adult, you can make the rules. And I was like, whoa, okay. Now I know what to look forward to. When I'm an adult, I can make the rules and I can do what I want to do. And I don't have to live by anyone else's rules. I'd get to eat what I want to eat, which would have been ice cream all day, every day. I can go where I want to go, which probably just would have been staying home and hanging out with my friends. And I can be who I want to be. If you know me, 5-year-old Reagan wanted to be a Ninja Turtle really badly. So that's what I would have wanted to do. And obviously now I'm an adult. I realize I can't eat ice cream all day. I can't just stay home and do nothing all day. But if I try really hard, I'm still holding out for that Ninja Turtle thing. So let's all pray for that and hope that goes well. But the idea that, I love the idea of freedom and just being able to choose my own path, do what I want to do, and make my own decisions. And I think this is how most of us see freedom. I think this is how most of us are kind of looking forward to this and maybe hope to someday, I'm going to grow up, I'm going to have the freedom to just do what I want to do and live my own life and not have to follow any of these other rules that I have to right now, right? And that's where mine goes. But this isn't really freedom, or this isn't biblical freedom. So this freedom is closer to something called licentiousness, or licentious. Can you guys say that? Licentious. Good try, that was good. It's like lice and then sentious. Nice. So licentious basically means to be lacking legal or moral restraints marked by disregard for strict rules of correctness. There is a slide for the thing, but don't worry, that's a long title, and you guys don't have to remember that. But that's it, licentiousness. Boom. So think of that. So instead of remembering kind of this long definition, instead I want to think of this. Growing up, something else I was kind of really bad at is, even today I'm kind of bad at it, but I'm getting better. I have the worst handwriting and grammar, and my sister will attest to this. My handwriting, there is my handwriting, that's not my handwriting exactly, but it's pretty close. I don't do spacings. I go above and under the lines. My handwriting is notoriously really bad. I feel bad for, especially in math when they don't give you the lines to work on. My work just goes all over the place. So I have really bad handwriting. Nice. But I have really bad handwriting, and I also have really bad grammar. If you go to the next one, the next slide shows when I type, you guys do a lot of online work now, right? So you type. So ever do you have that? If your words are wrong, there's the red lines, there's the blue lines and everything. At the end of the day, my paper looks just like that. The red lines are everywhere, and just because my grammar and my spelling is terrible. So the problem is, I think, grammar is really just one of my biggest weaknesses, and really so is spelling. So the problem with that is my bad grammar, my bad handwriting, it just it's ineffective. It doesn't get my point across. So no matter what I do, if I'm trying to write or convey or say a point, there is no point. People don't understand what I'm trying to say because my grammar doesn't work. And so even though I want to follow my own rules or I want to do what I want to do, at the end of the day, the whole point isn't going to get across. People aren't going to understand what I'm trying to say or what I'm trying to write or what I'm trying to, I don't know, spell, I guess. And I can't win the spelling bees, which those are sad. But I think that's what I want you to think, that Reagan, licentiousness is Reagan trying to do his own grammar, is trying to make his own words. A lot of times I just didn't care. I would do it, and thank God that, the red lines, you can click at it and make it right. Because if you see my handwriting, there is none of that. So if it's spelled wrong, it's spelled wrong. And my teacher will mark me off for that. So think of that. Think of Reagan trying to force his own grammar, and it's just not working. It just does not make any sense. That's licentiousness, kind of going your own way, doing your own thing, kind of careless of the consequences or how it might affect others, right? So that's what I want you guys to think about. Today we'll be looking at how the Bible defines freedom and how sometimes as Christians we can be wrong when trying to embrace the freedom God gives us, right? Okay, so I want you to kind of keep that in the back of your head. Freedom, the world's freedom, how we maybe perceive freedom at first and licentious, and we're going to talk about how God talks about freedom in the Bible. So remember last week, guys, Lloyd was sharing about Galatians, right? So remember, I'm going to recap Galatians here. So Galatians, there's Paul, and he's writing to this church. And this church is kind of a mix of Jews and Gentiles. So it's kind of some people from one group, kind of some people from the other, some kind of people who may already have some Christian stuff, already have some rules and laws, and some people who have no idea and they're kind of coming into this. So Paul's writing to them, and the Gentiles are kind of confused. They're being confused because they think they have to follow all these old Jewish customs and laws that the Jews who are already there are kind of putting on them. And then Paul sees that, and he's like, guys, you don't have to do that, because if we read in Galatians 5:1, you guys have a Bible, you can turn there, or if you want to pick some up too, you can do that. We really encourage that. Boom. Okay, here, Galatians 5:1. So Christ has truly set us free. Now make sure that you stay free and don't get tied up again in slavery to the law. So right off the bat, Paul's emphasizing that God has set us free. There's no question about it. I think a lot of times we might think like, oh yeah, Christians, we say we're free, or we say we have this and that, but I don't really understand. I don't feel free. This is a great point that was brought up in my small group last time. Like, Christianity doesn't feel free. People say that a lot, but there's a bunch of rules I have to follow, right? Like, if Christianity is free, then why each week am I, or me, Lloyd and Michelle up here telling you guys to not lie or not cheat? Or if Christianity is free, why when you, if you argue with your parents or your siblings, do you get in trouble? So how is this really freedom? Well, how is there freedom if there's a bunch of rules that we have to follow, and I know I have to follow them because if I don't, I get in trouble? Well, I think, again, we're getting confused with licentiousness. Again, say that again, licentiousness. I don't know why I like that word so much. I don't know. But licentiousness, again, remember my bad grammar. You're getting confused with freedom with this other act of licentiousness of wanting to do what you want to do regardless of the mistakes or the consequences, right? Okay, so Paul thinks about this and is going to tackle this next in Galatians 5:13. Boom, 13 through 15. So for you have been called to live in freedom, my brothers and sisters, but do not use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another in love, for the whole law can be summed up in this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. But if you are always biting and devouring one another, watch out. Beware of destroying one another. Galatians 5:13 to 15. So here he kind of answers that question, like, why are we told we have this freedom, and yet there's all these rules I have to follow? So Paul is drawing a distinction between worldly freedom to do whatever you want, no matter the consequences, and biblical freedom, which is to right there see that serve one another in love. I think that's the key that we should take away. That is the true Christian freedom. So he even points at this, that the command that Jesus gives us: love your neighbor as yourself. I think that's kind of interchangeable. Serve one another in love, and you do so by loving your neighbor as yourself, right? So Christianity is not about following rules, yet it's still not absent of the rules either. And here's how you're going to balance rule and freedom, right? So I think here's this question. So what we have to do is, I don't have any rules to follow. One thing I have to do is I have to treat others with love. I have to serve others with love and love my neighbor as myself. Well, how do I do that, right? And this is where it might get a little confusing, but I want you to think about it this way. Here's the balance. So think about yourself hanging out with your best friend. When you go, let's say you're either meeting at their house or they're coming to your house or you're just meeting up somehow. When they're coming over, before they come over, do you take out a checklist and you're like, okay, well, today I have to be kind, courteous, and compassionate to them. I have to do all these things, and that's how I'm going to be a good friend. No, right? No one does that. That'd be weird. That's not what it's about. And yet, when you hang out with your friends, if you're playing video games, you don't hog the controller. When they're talking, you listen to them. Sometimes you have to sacrifice and do stuff you don't want to do, and what they want to do. Or sometimes you can't do the stuff you want to do if they want to do different stuff, right? So even though you have to sacrifice, it's a relationship, right? You have to comfort them when they're down, encourage them when they're happy. And yet, so while beforehand you didn't look at a rule book or look at a checklist and check off, okay, I have to do this, this, and that, you're still somehow kind of following and focusing on these common social rules or common etiquette that we all kind of know that you have to do to be a good friend, right? So a real authentic relationship, while not necessarily following rules, not necessarily having a checklist and official stuff you have to do and have to not do, you still realize there's some social stuff that I know in the back of my mind. I have to do this or I have to act this way or I can't act a different way because that'd just be mean, right? So no one wants to be friends with a jerk. No one wants to be friends with a guy who's mean, doesn't care about others. That's just kind of sad. And I think that's the, dichotomy is the wrong word, but that's the two different sides here. While there's no necessary checklist of things beforehand I have to do and don't do to be a good friend, there's also a clear distinction of not being a mean person who doesn't care about someone else's feelings. There's still some stuff you have to do. I used to know a person who was kind of like, he used to be a cool guy at first, but then you start to care about, not care about how he treated others, not care about how other people felt when you said or did certain things. And it got really, you really started to push people away. And, a lot of people just don't like that, of course. And at that point, I think he got really lonely and sad just because, people don't want to hang out with a person who's always being mean to them. So, I think the goal here, the thing is here, what we don't want to do is we don't want to follow our hearts, and we don't want to, I think, because we often hurt other people when we're in pursuit of our own goals. I have Mark 7:20-23. Boom, there it is, nice. Okay, and so he said to them, it comes from inside that defiles you. From within, out of a person's heart comes evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, lustful desires, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these vile things come within you, and they are what defile you, right? So that's just to emphasize there that when we follow what's inside our hearts, when we do what we want to do, regardless of the rules, regardless of what other people encourage or maybe tell us to do, we're just going to end up hurting people. We're going to be mean to them. We're going to, out of our selfishness, we're going to be rude. We're going to just put other people down. So that's why you wouldn't want to do that. That's why living without the rules, even though we are free, that's why we wouldn't want to just say, okay, I'm free, no rules. Well, without rules, we think we're experiencing true freedom, yet it leads to pain and destruction. So I'm reminded of Lloyd's example from last week. Lloyd gave a great example of like a relationship between a parent and a child. And I think maybe one that maybe would work better for you guys is a person and their pet. How many of you guys out there have pets? Nice, a couple, a lot, handful, maybe half. That's cool. I do not have a pet, but I wish I did have a pet. I wish I'd have a turtle or a monkey. That'd be really cool. But for those of you who have pets, and maybe even for those of you who don't, I think you'll understand where I'm coming from here. So when you have a pet, especially a dog, what's one of the first things you kind of need to buy for them and you need to do? They need a leash, right? When you go out, you usually have a leash when you walk them, when you take them to a park, when you do anything, right? And why is that? Because you don't want them running in the street. It's like, I saw a hand, but it's a rhetorical question. It's because you don't want them running in the street. You don't want them going someplace they're not supposed to go. You don't want them doing things they're not supposed to do, stuff that would hurt them, right? You want them in the street and then hit by a car. You don't want them running away and then you can't find them, you can't play with them, you can't feed them, you can't do stuff, right? So there are these certain rules and restrictions that are put in place for the dog's benefit, for the animal's benefit, right? And I think this is the same way with just any relationship, right? So we have these rules or these things we have to follow, right? And what do they protect us from? If you're in a friendship, so when you don't do these things, you're protecting your friend kind of from yourself. When I don't lie to my friend, I'm protecting their feelings for being hurt or from me hurting them by lying to them, right? So I think that's how we kind of have to look at these things. It's not just these arbitrary rules that I have to do this to be a good person or I have to do this because, I have to. These are the rules. It's doing these things out of love for your fellow neighbor, out of love for others. So I don't cheat or I don't lie, not just because I have to, but because if I did that, that would hurt someone else. I'm doing it, in a sense, to protect them from myself. Kind of an interesting way to think about that. So, but there's one thing, we can go too far sometimes. So you guys see there's this one side of, well, if I don't follow rules, I can really end up hurting someone if I just go after my own nature, if I try to follow and do what I want to do. And on the other side, there is a problem with always just strictly following the rules. Like I said in the beginning, it would be kind of weird if, you're at your friend's house and you're like, okay, well, I was courteous right now, and next thing I have to be is kind. No one does that. It's not natural. You don't need to do that. So, but here's the problem where it goes too far. On the other hand, if you're following rules just for the sake of rules, that leads to what we call legalism. So we know that we can't keep the law perfectly, and that's kind of the point. It's kind of the point is to show us that we're failures and we need to turn towards Jesus. But when we try to, we often find ourselves comparing ourselves to one another. And maybe you've done this, where you try to compare and justify yourself against each other by saying, well, at least I'm not as bad as that person. And I've done this plenty of times. I've done this where I do something bad and I mess up, but I look over and I'm like, well, at least I'm not this guy. I see him, he's really being a bad person. He's partying, he's doing all these things, he's saying all these bad things. At least I'm not that bad. Or like, maybe I did this thing, but I know this other guy and he's way worse than me. So, maybe I'm here and he's here though, so maybe I'm not that bad. I think a lot of times when we're following the rules too much, we try to compare ourselves and see how other people are following the rules. And of course, the whole point is that none of us can live up to the rules, right? And so I think that's the problem with comparing yourselves or being too legalistic or following rules just for the rules' sakes or with the wrong motivation, right? The whole point is that none of us can keep up with the rules. And we become really arrogant, prideful, and just competing with others to see who's a better Christian. But in the end, you're just looking down on your brothers and your sisters and making them feel bad because you think you're better than them. And so I think this is what Paul is talking about in verse 15. Let's look back to Galatians 5:15. But if you're always biting and devouring one another, watch out. Beware of destroying one another. And the cool thing about this is I think it can work either way. So let's say, like I kind of said, if you're on this one side of not following the rules, not really caring, kind of doing whatever you want to do, again, you're going to end up hurting someone when your goals outweigh them and their feelings and you just kind of don't care, On the same hand, if you kind of care too much about the rules, you're going to end up in this competing place of like, okay, well, I'm going to look down on this person because I'm following the rules more than they are. Or I'm going to make myself better than this person by following the rules more, and then they'll feel bad and because I'm above them, right? And so I think this verse can be interpreted to either one, going the wrong way on either side. You're going to end up biting each other, turning on one another, devouring each other. That's some pretty strong language, right? So I think it's about a balance, right? So again, it's about serving one another in love is the key here. To serve one another in love, you'll be following the rules and laws, but the point is not just to do so, it's to love God and love others, right? So here's kind of the trick, or here's where it kind of maybe gets a little confusing. You're going to be doing the same actions, but it's a different motivation. It's a mind change. So it's the same thing of, again, I don't put the leash on the dog just because I want to or just because I have to. I'm doing it because I'm trying to protect it. I don't not lie, or I don't not cheat, or I don't not hurt others because I have to or because it's the right thing. I do it because I'm protecting that person, or I know this is what the right thing to do in that sense. This is how I love God, and this is how I love others. So that's kind of what I wanted you guys to take away from tonight. It's these things of, you might realize like I'm doing the same things or I'm keeping up the same actions, but it's a different mindset. I want a mindset change of either not doing so, not being totally loose, but yet not also being totally strict and hurting yourselves or trying to live up to things that you just can't, right? It's a mind change. So I'm excited for next week because Lloyd is going to go more into depth on this topic. Lloyd's going to go into more how the Spirit can help us and how we can have this mindset change and still be doing better actions, right? But again, the main takeaway today is Christianity and it is a relationship. It's a relationship with Jesus and with others. And again, in a relationship, it's not about a checklist of rules, and yet it can't be absent of that. It can't be just you doing whatever you want to do, right? And so I think that's how I want you guys to look at it. It's loving God and serving your neighbors in love. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Skill. Less skill.
Hey, clap it up again for Reagan. Awesome. Well, hey, Reagan, thank you so much. And you know what was so powerful about Reagan in his message here tonight? And again, going back to that riddle. Okay, it's not about the rules, but it doesn't mean we just do whatever we want. It's this love that we have for God. Like he said, it's a different attitude in doing it. And it's also this freedom, not freedom to do what we want, but a new freedom to start to follow God where he wants to lead us. And that's some of the things that you guys are going to be talking about in your small groups tonight. How do we start to really, like Reagan, it's not this checklist when your friend comes over, but when your friend comes over, to say, God, what do you want me to be tonight? Who do you want me to be? How do you want me to care for this person? And that is how we start to grow in our Christian relationship. When we start to follow God's lead. Not follow a list of rules, but to follow what God wants us to do in that moment. And that next week we'll talk about a little bit more. You're going to start that conversation tonight in small groups, and then next week we're going to get into that some more. Alrighty, online students, it's so fun hanging out with you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. All of you, we pray, and then you can head off into small groups. Let's pray. Father God, thank you again for this time tonight. Lord, I thank you for all the students that are here in this room. I thank you for the students that are here with us online. God, will you open our hearts? Will you move in us? May we continue to really think, what does it mean to grow in our faith? We thank you and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, head off to small groups.